everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are so excited you're here. You all are in such a treat for ERIN'S story. I cannot wait for you to hear it. Anyway, just to start off, my name is Nikki McCutcheon, and just know that someone really cares about you, that wanted you to know about this technology and invite you to the call tonight. The call tonight will be for 30 minutes, and if we have new people on the call, we're going to be talking about the X39 patch that activates this amazing peptide in our bodies, and we'll get started with our medical disclaimer. Tonight, we will be sharing for informational purposes only. So if you have any medical conditions, please check with your physician or healthcare practitioner first. All LifeWave patches are not intended to treat, cure, diagnose, or prevent any disease. If you are on medications or have a medical condition or are pregnant or nursing, please check with your physician. And so tonight I am going to start by introducing to my sweet friend, ERIN. Like I said, it's just going to be such a treat. Her story is amazing. I will give you just a little disclaimer first, because we're going to share some pictures, and they're a little bit horrifying. So just so you know, when we get ready to show the pictures, just wanted to give you that heads up. But anyway, ERIN, please tell us how you got started on the patches.
So I thank you for having me, first of all. I love sharing my story, my testimony with this, because I was very skeptical at first. I think, like most people, it's a patch, so you don't think a patch is going to help something major. But I actually believe I posted on social media. I threw my back out, which is something that I do often. And I posted on social media something, in my Instagram about can't walk today or something. I don't remember. And a friend contacted me, and she's a good friend, Lori. And I'm sure, yes, most people know her, Lori Wood. And she contacted me and said, hey, you need to come try these patches I have. Get to my house right now. I literally could barely walk. And she said, please just get here. So I got in my car. It took me a good hour to get over there. Went over there. She immediately just started patching me up. I think she put a couple patches on my back right where the pain is. And I honestly I was trying to make her feel good. Like, thank you so much. This is so nice. But inside, I honestly just was like, this is pointless. Because when I threw my back out, it's a good 5 to 7 days of extreme pain. And, it's my whole entire back. It's just an issue, because when I was younger, I was a gymnast and I got a stress fracture. And so it's just always been an issue. So like everybody else, or majority of people have the same story. Immediately within like an hour, I felt a little bit of relief, and then a couple hours later, a little more relief, and then by the next day I was pretty much all the way better. And that's unheard of. I mean, it's a good 4 to 5 days, sometimes longer. So I knew immediately. I was like, okay, there's something to these patches. Sign me up. So she signed me up. I got the big package, got all the patches in. And so from there, I just started patching every day. Immediately, the main thing I noticed is my sleep. Actually, that was pretty much all I noticed in the beginning, was my sleep, besides obviously my back. But I was sleeping. I would wake up in the middle of the night, sit up and feel like it was morning, just feeling on top of the world. And I'm like, oh, I've only slept a couple hours to go back to sleep. I would wake up in the morning feeling amazing. My sleep, and to this day, it's changed my whole sleep routine, and I wake up feeling amazing. And it's funny, I was telling her, I'm like, even if I had a night where I had to work really, really late and I didn't get to sleep till 2 and I had to wake up at 6, I still felt like I got 12 hours of sleep. It's crazy. So that was initially my, story. So, when Nikki was referring to the injury, the pictures we're going to show you. So I'm red hair and I'm freckles. So I'm very sensitive. My skin, my eyes, everything is really sensitive. I had a friend who gifted me, I don't even to this day know exactly what treatment it is, but it was an intense laser treatment. To this day, I probably had 3 facials my whole life. I just have never invested in a lot of stuff. I didn't really know what I was getting into. And she wanted to do this to really bless me. It's a very expensive procedure. Ended up taking like 4 hours. It's really intense lasers. very painful. But she did it as a surprise kind of thing, you know. Well, my skin did not take it well at all. And we will show with the pictures, but I had extreme reaction. And, you know, when I went in, I didn't know she had mentioned, do you get prescriptions anywhere? But they don't really do prescriptions. So I didn't really know what she's talking about. But she was saying next I needed to get pain meds before I came in, and I didn't. So I should have listened to her, but it was very intense. It was very painful. And so I did have a patch on. She even said, "What's that patch on you?" And I had it in a weird place because I didn't know at the time, and I just had it stuck right there. But I just kind of told her a little bit. Anyway, so she did the treatment. I had a very intense reaction, and it was really bad. And you'll see with the pictures. So I immediately, when I get home, I find somebody to watch my children because they would be traumatized. I just started patching myself, like as many I use 2 or 3 patches a day around my face area. I didn't even know where to put them, but I was putting them in the back of my neck, right here, around my neck, you know. And anyways, she was, you could tell she was a little bit worried. She sent me pictures on the hour. So I'm sending her pictures. She commented about 2 days in, she's like, "Well, I think you're starting to heal day 3, day 4. She was like, "You're healing very fast." You could tell she was very excited. Day 5 and 6, it was unreal how fast I healed. She commented on that. Everyone that sees the pictures commented on that. I healed up. I mean, it probably would have taken at least 3-4 weeks to see any kind of healing. And I immediately healed within 5-6 days. I was all the way better, which is insane. And I knew it was the patches. So
let's show. Okay. So y'all just get ready. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the pictures.
Woo, I'm okay. I survived. Don't worry about it.
Yes.
So day 1 in the upper left-hand corner, that's the night I left. So you can see hurts, painful. And then the middle up on the upper row in the middle, that's the next day. I woke up like that. The swelling was intense. I couldn't see. I was in so much pain. I was shivering throughout the night. Day 3, about just as bad, maybe not as swollen, a little bit better. But day 4, you can see in the bottom left, I immediately it started happening. I was healing. Literally, I think that's day 6, all the way better. And then you could see the final picture, which is day 8, I believe. I don't have my glass on. And that one, obviously, completely, you would never know that I looked like that a few days before. And I 100%, and she said so as well, the patch had to attribute to that. There's no other way. There's no way humanly possible that anyone could heal that fast. And, you know, my whole back issue, since I started the patches, which was a couple years ago, my back's gone out 1 extra time since then. And what I noticed is immediately if I get the patches on my back, it's a good 24 hours, I'm all the way better. So now that's 2 times it's gone out in the last couple of years, and it's just 24 hours. And before, every time my back went out, I'm gone. I'm out for days. I just knew when I could feel the feeling, I'm like, here we go, and prepare. But so I know without a shadow of a doubt, those patches are helping. The level of intensity.
How long have you been on the patches?
I think since I just started them when on that video, and I think it was 2022 at like November.
Yes,
I think that was it, because it was before Christmas. Yeah.
And so I would say, let's see, so that makes it 13, 14, like 14 months.
Yeah. Okay. So I would say my biggest thing I've noticed in myself is the sleep, the level of energy. And I've noticed a big difference in my skin and just healing. When something has hurt, I put the patch on. Not to mention, even my dad the other day, because, you know, with guys, they're skeptics, you know, they're just like, how could this work? You know, but my dad was having real bad knee pain the other day. And immediately I was like, put these on. And I told his wife, I said, make sure you put, Sue might even be on here. Hi, Sue. But I said, make sure you put the patches on, like, you know, every day. I give him 2 Ice Wave and, actually X39, but he did every single day. And he was like, he called me a couple days ago, he goes, honey, I think those patches work. He's like, the pain went away immediately. And that's the main thing I tell people is like, you see immediate results. And one other thing that I also have been using, I'm probably the best thing the patches have given me. So my son is autistic and he's almost 12. And I kind of researched and decided I was going to give him the glutathione patch, right? So I started putting those on the back of his neck every day. And immediately I didn't see a huge difference. And I was kind of like, because I got such a fast difference, I thought I'd see something in him. But I kept persistent with it. And about 2 or 3 weeks in, I noticed his sleep also changed. And when he woke up, he was more alert. And getting him out the door to school was a whole new world. Was so laid back and so calm. And I didn't really think that's how it would help him, but it did. Nothing is bothering him. He doesn't get upset over anything. He's playing basketball. They're actually in the playoffs this week. He's on an undefeated team. He's playing football. This is a kid that wasn't talking at 7. And I know without a shadow of a doubt the patches are changing his world. I know they are. And I think if anything, like if everyone could at least get the glutathione on some child, especially children that have any kind of gut issues, because gut issues are, usually the issue when it comes to, ADHD or autism. But and it could be any patch, I don't know, but that one in particular has changed our world. And, me and his father are divorced. And so he's with his dad half the time. So his dad just thinks it's a Band-Aid and takes it off. He's a guy. So I'll go up, I meet him at school every morning, even when his dad drops him off, and I go and hug him and I check. And if he doesn't have a patch, I'm putting one on. So I've been consistent with it and I've seen a major difference. So Haley,
That's so amazing.
that is my favorite story to tell. So
Yes, absolutely. Now are you just using the glutathione on your son?
that's all I have. Now, I have been out before and I didn't want him to go without. So I have put an X39 or something on him. But do you suggest any other that I should try?
Well, I mean, if you see results with the glutathione, obviously, for I'm actually kind of surprised that the sleep, has changed that. But
Yeah.
obviously, your gut and your brain are connected. So your gut influences your brain. So I guess it would make sense that he would be sleeping better,
Yeah.
and his alertness and stuff. But I mean, I know there's different protocols that you can use, but I just think it's good to know that, that somebody could potentially just use one patch, say like the glutathione on their
Yeah.
child, that has, autism or ADHD or something like that, and they could potentially get results. You could try some of
Maybe
the
I should
other
add another.
patches. Yeah, you could try some of the other patches and even the different protocols, and I can send
Yeah.
those to you so you can
Yes.
see
Yes, please.
if you notice anything else different. Let's see, next week we're going to have another person on, and her daughter is just ADHD, and she's been using the specific protocols. And again, it's going to be an amazing
Oh, I
story.
can't
They've
wait.
just had huge results. So, but yeah, I'll
Oh, I
send that to
cannot
you as
wait.
well.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
but
love
I
that.
am like just like over the moon for you. Like our kids, when you have that
Yeah.
mama's heart, our kids are number one to us, and
Yeah.
anything that we can do to figure out
Mhm.
how to help them and make a difference in their lives, I am sure over the years you have just done everything you can possibly think of to try to
Yeah.
detox him and help him out. And so to have something that you're utilizing so quickly to have
Yeah.
results is, I mean, it's just so thankful. So yes, Liana is asking a question. So we'll
Okay.
ask. So Liana's asking, what patches, Erin, did you use for your results?
X39, predominantly. Now I use them all. I play around with all of them, but X39 and Eon are the main ones that I've been using.
Okay, awesome. And then when you were
For the face thing, that was all X39 at the time.
Okay. So you were just using X39 with your face,
Yeah.
multiple patches. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It was,
that's surprising. No Eon. You weren't using any
I
Eon.
didn't have any. What I ordered pretty much all X39. I think I had a couple more. And I mean, I can't. Well, you know what? I take that back. I think I did have some Ice Wave that Lori had given me. I think I
Okay.
did. Maybe, yeah. But
And then
on the regular, I was using X39. Yeah.
and so for your back, that was just X39. Obviously, Lori gave you
Lori
some ice wave.
so she put on the Ice Wave, and she used the Eon and Ice Wave, I believe. And I think she put an X39 on, but I used X39 to maintain. And this last time my back went out, I did X39.
Just X39. Wow. That's amazing because I
Okay.
have back issues too, like you. And you know, I'm a crazy person. I want all the benefits from all the patches. So I'm
Well,
using all of them. But
always give out my Ice Wave. I feel like I'm always running into somebody in pain, and so I'm always giving out my Ice Wave and Eons. And so when the very few times my back will go out, I'm like, oh crap, I don't have any. I should call you. Yeah, I know, but yeah, no, I have.
yes.
I might have used an Ice Wave this last time, but X39 is the main one, unless
Well,
it's
that's
immediate.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great that you can get that relief because I just standard on the standard. I'll wear 2 energy enhancer on my back, white on right, tan on left. And then
Mhm.
sometimes I'll rotate between X49 and carnosine down there on my back where it will go out. But
Uh-huh.
I'm wearing all the other patches somewhere on me.
Yeah.
But I've definitely had results like you with my back too. So it's just when
Nice.
you live the way you and I do with our
Yeah.
backs, it's an absolute
Yeah.
miracle. I mean, it's a
It's,
game
I mean,
changer.
I can't ever be out of patches with my back. I
Right.
know I got to have them on stock
Yeah,
because when it goes out, your whole world stops, you know?
that's right.
You know how
Yes.
that is. Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly right. So that's amazing. Yes. Um, yeah, and just for your sleep, I mean, just to have that to be
Uh-huh.
able to sleep right away, because that's when we heal and when we restore. So to have
Yeah.
that as well is just, and as a busy mom, running your own
Mhm.
business and running around with your kids, our sleep is so important.
It's so important. And I struggle with it. I mean, I was always waking up and couldn't go back to sleep. And then the next day, but I mean, my whole world's changed because the sleep has changed. And so I feel like that's just attributing to every other positive thing that's changed in my life. So,
Right. That's awesome. And I wanted you to tell them the story of when your son started, he wanted to go out for football and how that whole thing that you told
yeah.
me a while back, I was just blown
Yeah.
away. So will you tell them the
Yeah.
football story also?
Yeah, well, I think what you're probably referring to is in the beginning, well, are you talking about his mental ability, like him getting out there on the field, or
Well,
just the
like you
physical?
were so surprised that he wanted to go out for
Yeah,
football and then you thought he would like quit, like you'd go pick him
yeah,
up and he'd
yeah,
quit just in a few days.
yeah. So, he's never been in any sports ever. School in itself was hard enough to get him to. It was dropping off an hour long, getting him in the door. I mean, it's just that's been our world. He didn't speak at all full sentences till he was 7. He's very, just very. His emotions were always really high. So this was the first year he actually got accepted by this school. And he decided, and this is right about when I started introducing the patches, but he was like, Mom, I think I want to try out for football. And I can't tell him no, because yes, of course I couldn't believe that he wanted to, but I went ahead and warned the coaches and, everyone, he's probably not going to make it past one practice once he sees what it's really like. I mean, there's absolutely no way. I was, especially putting a helmet on. I mean, he won't wear a hat. I mean, he doesn't like anything or touching his head. I just knew there was no way, but I didn't want to say no to him. So football camp came around, and of course the school was so open and inviting, and yes, and they were so supportive. But he went in and had a little bit of trouble getting the helmet on and kind of accepting it, but he got through it. Went through the whole practice sweating. I mean, they didn't let him, like, he had to run with everybody else. It was like 100-degree heat. I mean, he was on fire. When we're done, he was like, Mom, that was so great. He's like, I don't want to quit. Then practice 2 came, 3. I mean, he never, not one time did he not only not quit, not give up. He looked forward to practices. Every single game, stood at the sidelines watching the game. Never ran off, never looked in the crowd, like never threw his helmet. Like, this is the first year ever that no one ever knew that he was autistic. There wasn't any issues. He didn't have any breakdowns. I mean, He went through the whole football season. Then when football's over, he wanted to start basketball. Now he's playing basketball. I mean, I just wanted to get him in school, a real school. So the fact that he's not only in school, A's and B's, but he's playing on the football team, on the basketball team. I told him the other day, I said, do you realize you have all A's and B's? You've been to every practice, football and basketball, every game. You've not one time asked to quit. You not one time complained. Do you realize that? And he was like, yeah. he's just like, that's me. I'm like thinking like, oh, he's a completely different child. Yeah. And it's just, it's, I look back and I would have never thought in a million years that we would be here.
Right. So, and how old is he now?
He'll be 12 next month.
Okay. He'll be 12 next month. I mean, and it blows me away because with the glutathione, it affects every cell in your body. It detoxes every cell in your body and then protects every cell in your body. And so we need glutathione in our bodies in order for them to work right. So to know that the glutathione would even affect his cognitive ability in that way, because the cognition that it has to take for him to be able to just get through a practice, to listen to instructions, for him to stand on the football field and focus on the game, like what you're talking about, the cognitive ability for him to do those things is just, that's a miracle, Erin. I mean, I just am so thankful for you.
That's what got me. The physical part was a shock. Yeah, he's making through practice, but the fact that when his coach is talking to him, he's looking him in the eyes. He's close to him. He's letting the coach hold him on the shoulders and, you could do this, you can do this and change this and change that. Okay, coach. And he turns around and walks out and then he turns around and what I've noticed in basketball too, is he's able to go down, and then suddenly we steal the ball and head the other way and he's already running, like he's getting it all. He's picking it up. This is, the doctor said he'd never be able to hold onto a bar. Because his wrist, the concept of squeezing something, he couldn't button his button on his shirt. I mean, there's so much potential of healing with things like this, like autism. We just have to learn the tools and apply the tools, but there's healing, and
yes, it's just, I am so thankful and so thankful to the Lord to have brought Lori into your life and for you to get to know about these patches and just the hope that your story is going to give so many people who live a life just like you with their kids, because like I said, our kids are everything. And for, just the fact that we are able to have a technology that we can apply to our bodies, that then will cause them to work the way that God has designed, even when we have these major injuries, that they're like you're talking about, that there is healing. So that is just,
our bodies are designed to heal itself. Our bodies are designed. We just need, the proper aid to get our bodies there, because we're filled full of toxins and full of everything else that is all around us. And it's like, I feel like these patches kind of accelerate our body's ability to heal, to function how it should,
Right.
And I know that what in the beginning, my thing is I was like, well, I know it's 100% safe. What's the harm? I'm just going to start putting them on him and hopefully I'll see something,
Right.
Sure enough.
Yeah. It looks like Irene may have a question for one of us. Irene, go ahead.
Yes, hello. This is my first time, but I also have a grandchild that is autistic, and I'm interested to find out where you put the patches and if you used anything else besides the glutathione. My grandson barely speaks a little bit. He's starting to, but he still has a long ways to go. He's young. He's 8 years old. But I'm very, very interested. If you could tell me.
Yes. I'm so excited that you are, watching out for him, because it's not too late. He's 8, and that's when our whole world's changed. But yes, the glutathione personally, I have used like X39 on occasion, but glutathione is all I've used. But it sounds to me like there are better protocols, and I'm going to let Nikki answer that, because I'm going to probably try those as well, because I got this much help from the glutathione. So I can imagine. Nikki, what do you think?
Yeah. So Irene, I would just say to get back to the person who invited you to the call, and they can either get the protocols for me, or they can get you connected to Ed or Vicky or myself, and we can get you those protocols so you have some options. And if the person who's introduced you to the patches doesn't know, there's definitely people here who we do have some of that information. So if you'll just reach back out to them, we'll get you.
I think I forgot to tell you too. I physically put the patch just on the back where he couldn't reach. So, because I didn't want him picking it off. So that's kind of a good place, is the back of the neck, low enough to where he can't reach it and where, it's not visible for other kids to see.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Good
Yes,
luck.
and I
Yes.
will. Thank you very much.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm very happy
Absolutely.
for you, and I'm excited for my
Thank you.
grandson. So
Thank
I'm.
Absolutely.
Thank you very
Yes.
much.
Good.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we just have a few minutes left, but I want to just tell you real quickly about the X39 patch. This is what the patches look like, so you can kind of see that if you don't know. But basically, the X39 activates a peptide in our body called GHKCU. So it's GHK copper peptide. And that peptide, if you go to PubMed, which is a medical industry standard of where they do any type of research when they're researching something, if you go in there and you put in GHK-CU, you're going to get all of these great articles, medical articles about what GHKCU does in our bodies. It affects 5 different areas that then affect all kinds of different things in our bodies. It affects our collagen levels, and most people think about collagen for skin and hair, but it actually is something that you need for muscles, all kinds of things in your body, your organs. Collagen affects those kinds of things. For the immune system is another one that affects, which obviously for anything in our health, for us to operate and do things right, there's all different parts and pieces of our immune system to work that it influences. Stem cell production. So it actually tells, as we age, our stem cells go dormant. So by the time we're 30, we only have about half of our stem cells active. And by the time we're 60, we only have about 10% of our stem cells that are active. So this in particular peptide goes and tells those stem cells to get up and get going, and let's get moving. So it resets 4,000 of our genes when we start to wear this, and also it gets a third of our stem cells up and going. And the longer you wear the X39, it will start to have a compounding effect, which is why Erin and I experienced in our back pain to where we would go for being out. I would be out for a month. Erin was saying days. I would be out for a month every time, to where now it's 24 hours. For me personally, I actually feel it trying to go out and it can't. So it's reset me to like when I was back in high school playing sports. So those, let's see, that's 3: collagen, stem cells, immune system, wound healing. It also affects wound healing, so it remodels scar tissue. And oh gosh, now I'm drawing a blank on the 5th one. There's a 5th one. Ed or Vicky, do you remember? There's 5 different...
I was like, you have a good memory.
Yes,
well,
I was doing good.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential. I mean, the list goes on and on, but Erin, I just want to tell you to thank you so much for this wonderful testimony. When we hear things like this in the modern day, we consider them miracles. And I'm a pastor, and I know that God is doing great things with this technology to help people. It is people like you, when you come out to do a testimony like this, that we can then record and send out to millions of people all around the world, that will go a far longer than if you just kept it for yourself. But thank you so much for sharing that with us. And the picture with the video that you showed us, we were all like amazing. So, wow. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Of course. Thank
you.
And let us know. We have a lot of protocols for autism. We can send them to you.
I need to.
And I'll send them to Nikki so she can send them to you.
I'm sure she sent them. I just know what I've been doing is working. So if something else can work better, I need to go back on my notes and get that.
Yeah, absolutely. Eon is a great because it balances your autonomic system. So I know carnosine, X39, glutathione are all the 4 patches that we use for autism and
Okay.
other mental things. So
I've got all those. Okay.
great.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes. And also, just so you know, that when you wear the patches, they're 12 hours on and 12 hours off. So they're completely non-transdermal. Nothing is entering the body. It is based on the infrared light that we emit. So if you were to look at someone or people through night vision goggles, it's that night vision where you see that heat and that light coming off of people. So this reflects back from the patch. We reflect our own light back into us that signals the specific different peptides based on whichever patches we're talking about. Will signal those peptides to get up and get going. So that is basically how the X39 works. And I just want to thank you all again so much for being on the call tonight. Irene, I'm so glad you were on the call to hear Erin's story. Everyone, please get back with the person who invited you to the call. We'll be happy to get you whatever information you need. And we just thank you so much for joining us. And we pray blessing over each one of you. And thanks for being on the call tonight. And we'll get to talk to you again soon. Have a good night, everyone.